And I'm getting my garage cleaned out a little bit. And I unburied an old Brown & Sharpe milling machine. Let's have a look at it. This is a World War II machine. I pulled this out of the scrapyard where the radial drill was. And I cleaned this one up first. It was a rust bucket. And it's got a... during World War II, they would take kind of a combination of machines they made in the past and do some things to them, like put a motorized knee on this. And in the catalogs, this style of machine came out in about 1929. I'll walk around it. Well, bumped into something. And one of the most unusual things about this machine is the vertical head attachment, and it's got a quill, a little crank up on top here, and it's got 2 inches of quill feed. And of course it'll twist at any angle, like any universal vertical head attachment. But one of the more unusual things about this head is it slides, and I'll demonstrate that. It'll go on the other way. Now, this spline shaft is its drive arbor, and it'll stab right back in there, and you can pull it all the way back here. You know, normally where a vertical head attachment would be. But you can crank it on out and do all kinds of things with it. Now, this was a precursor to the later Brown & Sharpe sliding head mill. It sports the old time clutch lever, but it's just actuates electric switch and the brake. And I'll get over here and look at. It's got the that this machine conforms to the orders of the War Production Board as to finish of painted surfaces. And I have to tell you, the castings on this were pretty rough, and I put nearly a half a gallon of Bondo in it. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm not all that great at painting machines, but I got paint on it. I got kitty litter at the bottom of it because I overfilled the knee. And when I first saw this machine, some kids were on it, and one of them was breaking out these glasses. And I replaced them for some reason. It's not getting oil in there, so I have to figure out why. And I overfilled it, and it started dumping out. So lots of kitty litter to clean up that mess. But kind of look it over a little bit. It's hard to believe that this machine was completely rusted up. It's just terrible. And the condition of the machine is great. You can see the tables here all the way at the end of travel, see if I can get it going. But it doesn't get tight anywhere. It's just great condition. The dividing head was with it, and it cleaned up good. It's the universal type, I guess. I put a chuck on it. It has a very difficult thread to cut. It's 4.5 threads per inch and a sharp thread. But one of the neat things about this machine, the speed plate here indicates it has 8 speeds. And it sort of indicates with a 2-speed motor or something, but it's actually got 10 speeds. And the only thing that's really correct on it is the lowest speed and the highest speed of 1200 RPMs. So it's got this selector here, and I'm going to repaint it with the correct speeds in there. It's kind of damaged anyway, so we'll get that all fixed up sometime later, and I'll put the right speeds in it. Here's the tag on it. Yeah, you can see it there. It's a number 2B plane mill. And I'll tell you what, this machine's heavy. It weighs 5,000 pounds as it sits. And that's quite a bit heavier than their, they call them light type, which are about, 1,500 pounds lighter than this thing. Oh, the cool old patent dates and stuff like that. Yeah, and this machine, and a lot of World War II machines were like this. It's got a chain drive, silent chain, and it's got an oiler for it, and it's 5 horsepower. And it's just got a tremendous amount of torque with 5 horsepower in that chain. Really smooth. But I thought you might enjoy looking at that. Old-time machine that was saved from the scrapyard. But yeah, I asked those kids that were crawling all over this thing, I go, well, who owns that thing? They go, well, this old guy has got all the rest of this junk, and he comes around on certain days. And so I came back and I asked the old guy, I go, well, what do you want for that machine you got sitting out there? And he goes, I want $500. And I go, okay. So I got it for $500. And it's just in amazing condition. There's just not very much wear on it. The table's got knocked around just a little bit. Someone tried to mill it a little bit there, but it's really in just reasonable condition. I already had this old Kurt Weiss, and I found this. It's an import for sure, but it's the right height for the dividing head. So I'm kind of on my way with this. It's going to be pretty nice. Got a 40 taper in that spindle and the big 50 taper, and there's just a lot of tooling around cheap for these. You can really fiddle around with them. So this machine, it goes with my Axelson lathe. I got this first, I go, well, I need a good old geared head lathe to go with this milling machine and that drill press, and that's how the Axelson happened. Yeah. All one big happy family in a little one-car garage here. But this is kind of a temporary digs. I've rebuilt a complete woodworking shop worth of equipment right here. Did all the work necessary, and it's just been a kind of a good little garage here to fix other equipment. So anyway, I thought you might like that. Old-time milling machine. Thanks for looking.